Hey guys, this is Suplexus from Time to Wrestle with Suplexus, and I'm joined by
Pile Driver.
And we're gonna be predicting Money in the Bank.
Alright, let's go with our first match. So on the pre-show, apparently, we have Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus the Usos. Daniel Bryan and Rowan, the current SmackDown Tag Team Championships, but it's a non-title match.
Yeah.
What do you think and why? Why don't you go first? Or should I? Because you're...
I'm gonna say the Usos win. Because it's a non-title match.
So you think that's why they have the non-title?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Daniel Bryan and Rowan. They just won the belts, and I think for them to lose the championship now would make no sense. Well, not lose the championship, but lose a match would make no sense. I think they need to be built as strong champions and beat the Usos. Plus, they're not on the same show, even though there is that wild card.
So you're thinking the Revival, maybe?
I'm thinking Daniel Bryan and Rowan will retain. Maybe the Revival will
retain,
win, yeah, and keep their belts.
Yeah.
They're keeping them anyways, non-title match. I get what you're saying. But I think that maybe the Revival will come in and do something silly.
And if it does get switched to a title match by some circumstance, I'm going to switch to them.
So if it continues with the non-title stipulation, you're going for
the Usos.
The Usos, otherwise you switch.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right, the next match, do you think this one's going to be on the pre-show? Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe for the WWE United States Championship.
I don't really think so.
No?
No. I think Dominic has to get involved somehow.
The Dominic factor. Perhaps whatever they were planning at WrestleMania is going to happen now.
Yeah. I'm going to pick Samoa Joe to hold the title for now. Rey might win it in Saudi Arabia. Might win it at WWE Stomping Grounds. So, yeah.
So Samoa Joe retain? I also think Samoa Joe's going to retain. He hasn't been having a lot of title matches, but they have been continuing to build him as a really strong person. He's got pinned a whole bunch of times before WrestleMania in those matches, but since then they've been doing him pretty strong. So I'm going to go with Samoa Joe retaining. I think Dominic's going to get involved somehow, and maybe that's how Rey loses. Or maybe Rey's just getting brutalized and Dominic steps in to try and stop Samoa Joe. But definite retention. I agree. Okay, next match. The Miz versus the best in the world, Shane McMahon. Yeah. I think the Miz has to win this one.
Okay.
I'm just going for like a win-loss record kind of. He lost at WrestleMania. I think he's gonna win now.
I think Shane McMahon. And I'll go on with it later. I'll explain more later.
Okay. I'm gonna just add to my prediction just for a second. I think that the Miz is gonna win because Shane is gonna do something ridiculous off the steel cage and be incapacitated. So similar to what happened at WrestleMania, except it's not going to be a fluke win kind of thing. Do you think he's going to like maybe win by getting out of the cage? By falling and jumping out?
I think through the door he might go. I think both men, whoever wins, it'll be through the cage door, so it's not like definitive really. Okay. Like some fluke. Maybe they get thrown into it, it's loose, and then they fall out. I don't know.
I'm gonna definitely go for the Miz, but I think that if Shane wins accidentally after being just like brutalized, I will be thoroughly entertained, just like I was at WrestleMania.
Like kind of like my idea, thrown through a loose door.
Yeah, or off the top, or he's on the top, attempting to jump in the cage and he gets pushed out.
So Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens style.
Yeah. You're talking Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns style, right?
Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens.
No, wasn't it Roman and Brock Lesnar and then Lesnar went through the
Oh,
cage.
I'm not thinking that. Remember how Braun like choke slammed him through the table?
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. Okay, next match. Oh, I forgot about this one. Elias versus Roman Reigns. I don't know how Elias could possibly win this match.
Yeah.
I don't think he should win this match. I think it's definitely Roman Reigns, and I think he should dominate the whole match because he should be
Like
fighting.
a one-sided match.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. How about you?
I think Roman wins. Shane comes out, and then The Miz attacks Shane, and then in Saudi Arabia we have a tag team match because it seems like they've been building that up with Reigns saving Miz, Miz saving him.
So that's what you're thinking. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. They are listed here back to back. I don't know if they will be on the card, but that'll be interesting. Okay, so the next one is Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. Should we do both of the Becky Lynch matches the same? First of all, out of the Becky versus Lacey and Charlotte, which do you think is going to go on first?
Charlotte.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I think Lacey's going to go on first. I could see why Charlotte would be good because then Becky's weakened, so Lacey kind of like they can make her look stronger. Okay. I'm going to change my mind and I'm going to agree with you. You changed my mind. Suplexes is so smart. Okay, so let's say Charlotte and Becky go on first. Who do you think's going to win?
I think Becky 2 belts walks out still Becky 2 belts.
Oh, you're doing both now. Okay, you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. And I'm wearing the man shirt. Like, how can I not go with my girl Becky?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Becky 2 belts thing is pretty hot still. It's not as hot as Becky was going into WrestleMania with the storyline shenanigans. But I think that it is one of their stronger draws. Perhaps merch sales really high for all of Becky's stuff. Keep it going. So I would say for those reasons, it makes sense to let her keep both belts for a bit.
Yeah.
All right. Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship.
Universal,
yes. Sorry. I am not used to having a Universal Championship match at a pay-per-view that doesn't have Brock Lesnar in it. And then our obvious, in unison prediction is usually Brock Lesnar. But just for the fun of it, since that's traditionally what we do with the Universal title, well, let's do a 3 count and say who we think is going to be the winner.
Just wait.
Oh?
I got something to say. In the last year, there's only been one pay-per-view match with the Universal title on the line that hasn't had Brock in it, but the ending of the match had Brock get involved and make it a no contest. So you know what's gonna happen.
You think
Brock's gonna get involved and make it a no contest. And then we're gonna get AJ versus Rollins versus Brock, or Seth versus Brock at Saudi Arabia. Not what we want, but...
if that happens, we're getting the low blow.
Oh, also, I may bring that up again later in the prediction video.
Okay, well, I was just going to do a straight up prediction and go with Seth Rollins retaining.
Okay.
He just won the belt at WrestleMania. I like it when the champions retain for a little while and have a bit of build before they lose it. I don't like the hot potato belt when it's the main championships. Unless it's like storyline related.
Do you think anything's gonna happen? Like an AJ heel turn? Or will it be clean?
I think AJ is starting to turn heel. And I think they started the AJ turn storyline back when, did he punch Vince or push Vince or something? He did something to Vince.
But they forgot about it, and now they're And
now they're bringing it back.
Yeah.
So, I feel like there's like an AJ turn in the midst here.
Like
Maybe-
maybe SummerSlam, it'll end with him beating Seth.
Yeah, and I think that might be part of why they moved AJ to Monday Night Raw. So new show, new AJ kind of deal. So it kind of is fitting. And when they want to turn him face again, they can throw him back on SmackDown with the wild card. Okay, so I'm going with Seth on that one. Not like AJ's great, but that's how I think that it's gonna be called. All right, Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens.
Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, I think Kofi's going to retain. I wish they would have had the Kevin Owens and the New Day a little bit longer. That was entertaining for one episode, and then they just kind of ended at the next. So that was kind of sad. But Kevin Owens is so great. I think Sammy's going to get involved. I think Xavier is going to get involved. I think they're going to put on a great show. But I think Kofi needs to retain. I don't think that he should lose his belt in such a small storyline. If Kevin was with him for like a month and then he turned, then I would have predicted Kevin winning. But just because it was such a quick little turn, seems like they might want to do something with Kevin and Sammy. I don't know if you can wild card and be a tag team or something. That might be.
You can, the Usos,
right? Yeah, the Usos did. So, but they would be they wild card together, whereas Kevin would wild card when he goes to Monday, and Sammy would have to wild card every time he went to Tuesday. So it'd be a very strange automatic wild card anytime their tag team fights.
Yeah.
One number is dropped from. Well, Vince could just say, I think 5 people should be switched instead of 4.
Yeah, and they're not big enough to take over both brands. So I see this as a feud to establish Kofi Kingston as a top player. And it's gonna end either here or Super Showdown.
And on that point, I'd like to say that they have done a very good job building Kofi as strong with the matches that he's been having on TV. And I'm glad that he's been having a lot of matches on TV. I don't feel like Seth has been having a lot of one-on-one matches since he won his title.
You know who Kofi should fight next?
Oh.
Randy Orton.
Well, Goldberg, tell me who's next.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. Oh.
Because
I know, because of the history. I know why you're saying it. All right, well, maybe that could play into your prediction for the men's Money in the Bank match.
That's next.
Okay, we'll do the women's next.
No, we can do the men's
Okay,
next.
all right. So we got Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, Ali, which I really want to say Mustafa Ali, but I can't. Randy Orton, and Andrade, and Finn Balor.
Yes.
Who do you think and why?
Drew McIntyre. And then he cashes in. You see, Drew was my initial pick. And then the whole Corbin versus Rollins thing kind of threw me off at Extreme Rules. And they don't have stipulated matches like normally. That's like a rematch thing. That's like a feud thing, second match. So I was going to say him, but they're just trying to throw us off so we don't think McIntyre will win.
You really think they're trying to they have that much foresight that they can actually plan, let's throw them off?
I think so.
Okay.
That's what they've done every year.
All
They
right.
always do it. The guy that we think is going to win, that holds the briefcase, that gets close to it even, they don't win.
Well, if they wanted to throw us off and make us happy, you know who would win, right? It'd be Finn. And then he could be Finn 2 belts. And that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Especially if Finn just went after the US title instead. And he was like 2 mid-card belts. All right, well, I'm really scared that Baron Corbin's going to win, if I'm being honest.
You think Corbin?
Oh, I think he's going to win, but I don't want him to, so I'm not going to. I'm going to take the chance of having the wrong prediction and go more for something I think would be better booking. And I'm going with Cien Alma. Andrade.
This is the funny thing. Corbin and Andrade are fan predictions. They're what should happen. Drew McIntyre is a WWE prediction. The obvious one, the Dean Ambrose, the Baron Corbin. Not really the Braun Strowman, honestly. But, yeah.
I think Braun's going to show up in this match and definitely hurt Sami really bad. Really bad.
Also, when you said Sami Zayn,
Mm-hmm.
I was confused for a second.
Oh,
because I already forgot.
Okay. Yeah. So okay, but I think out of all of the names, Andrade would be the one that could use it to help him get more TV time, help him move up the ladder a bit more.
Hot pun intended.
Right. Pun was not intended. They just come naturally. Okay.
Too many.
I'm surprised you didn't pick Randy Orton, considering you want Randy to go after Kofi next. Because if he got the briefcase, that would be really like a good way for them to get a Randy Kofi feud with some sort of story behind it.
I don't see Randy getting the briefcase.
Yeah.
Randy Orton is like the Braun Strowman of last year, and that's funny because Braun won. He's the guy nobody thinks is gonna win. Like nobody. Like absolutely.
Okay, out of this
no
list, who do you think is least likely to? Who do you think the WWE is least likely to have win?
Ricochet.
Good pick. I'm gonna go with Finn Balor being least
Actually-
likely, because he already has a belt.
He could cash in on AJ, and then they do Balor.
You know how hard it's gonna be.
What if he comes out as the demon? Then would you change your
No.
mind?
We only see the demon like
But
sometimes.
if he does come out the
But
demon,
then he has to win. Isn't the demon undefeated at pay-per-views?
yeah, but
Yes, then
that
he's winning.
doesn't mean he's never like they take undefeated weirdly. Because like if you're in a multi-man match like the Money in the Bank and you lose
It doesn't count.
because
It's not a one-on-one. Okay, I get it. I get what you're saying. But they're not going to have him come out as the demon and lose. Because even though they could still say he's undefeated as the demon, we will always remember that he came out as the demon and he lost at Money in the Bank.
but what if he goes into Shark Tank? Then yeah, that just ran. Every year they put someone in a Shark Tank.
Yeah, they need Jericho to come back if they want to put someone in a Shark Tank
Or Enzo.
and make it believable. No, they don't want Enzo back. Nobody does. Okay, women's Money in the Bank ladder
Sorry,
match.
Enzo.
Do you think it's going to go on last, the women's? I think both of the Money in the Banks are going to go on first because then it's more heat during the championship matches. Like, are they going to cash in? I think they might have like a...
I think the men's one is going to be right before the Universal title match. So then,
But after the championship?
after the WWE title, before the Universal.
Okay. All right, so in the women's match, so it was Alexa Bliss, but unfortunately she's injured. Hopefully it's not a permanent
It's
injury.
Nikki Cross now.
And so, yeah, so we got Nikki Cross, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Natalia, Bailey, Mandy Rose, Carmella, and Ember Moon.
Mandy Rose.
I'm so scared. Just, you know how I'm afraid?
Wait a sec. Nikki Cross.
Okay.
Because they're gonna build that up, and then we're gonna see Becky versus Alexa at like SummerSlam or a big pay-per-view.
If she can come back.
Yeah,
Right.
because Nikki Cross, that's how they do a sneaky cash-in. What if Nikki Cross wins, and then Alexa cashes in later that night, and everybody's so confused because like Nikki Cross won the briefcase.
I like the idea of Nikki Cross winning, and I'm tempted to make that prediction, but let me tell you why I don't think it's going to happen. I think that the Nikki Cross character is crazy, right? So when they have a crazy person win Money in the Bank, crazy people don't know rules, and they wouldn't wait for an opportunity to cash it in. They wouldn't wait till the champion was weakened and they would just be like, oh, I got a briefcase. Oh, I'm cashing it in. Let me try right now. Right? It's kind of like when Braun won and then he was like, oh, I don't need to cash. I'm so strong. I can beat you any. And then they had a match, like a proper match set. I think with Nikki Cross, just because of her character, although she acted sane backstage with Alexa. So I don't know if they're doing like I'm not crazy outside of the ring, I'm crazy inside of the ring.
You know what? I can see really good segments with Alexa trying to get her to give her the briefcase. Like, people will appreciate you if you give me the briefcase. Then you'll be respected.
So if they knew Alexa's injury was a long-term injury, then they could build into the storyline where she's like, I guess like a valet, kind of advising Nikki on when, and like Nikki's coming out to cash it and Alexa's stopping her saying, no, now's not the time, right? Because Becky's just cutting a promo or something. Yeah. So that, if they did that, that could be quite entertaining. That involves a lot of foresight by the WWE creative that I think maybe the people working creative have, but like the man who's in charge, who makes the decision, probably doesn't have that same foresight. So really interesting if that was to happen, but unfortunately I don't think that's gonna happen. I would love for if she did win, like that would be fun. That would be a jump out of my seat kind of moment. I think how many times WrestleMania was so great, I think we jumped out of our seats literally 4 times during the show.
We did it for Rollins.
Yeah. Oh, that was so good. That was a good jump.
We did it for Becky.
Mm-hmm.
I think we did it for Kofi.
Yeah, we did it for Kofi. And there's one more I remember, but I don't remember.
I don't think it was Corbin.
No, but there was another moment that we jumped. Was it Balor? There was another moment that we... Oh no, it was The Miz and Shane. That made us jump out of our seats.
Oh, yeah.
That was nuts. How did we forget that? Yeah, so there were like 4 literally jump out of my seat, run around screaming moments at WrestleMania. So maybe if something like that happened, I would jump out of my seat, but we'll see.
Rollins was the best. The beginning was the best part of WrestleMania. Because Ronda could have kept the title. It's not like she doesn't show up. Mm-hmm. But Seth had to win.
It was so satisfying to watch Brock Lesnar finally lose that belt.
We get to see that beautiful licorice title every week.
And to get that satisfaction in the first match of the main card.
You might see it on live events.
Yeah. Okay, so my prediction for the match, like just like I was afraid that Baron Corbin would win the men's, my fear is that Mandy Rose is going to win this one. And I don't know why Mandy's even in it. Like, she should be with Sonya going after the tag belts. Like, if they want to build a women's tag division, they need the women's tag teams to stay as tag teams. Are there any tag team members in the men's ladder match? No, because they separate the tag team from the singles. That's what they need to do. But yeah, so like I don't want Mandy Rose to win. So my pick, I'm gonna go with Bayley.
You're gonna go with your heart instead of your mind?
I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense for Bayley to win. I think they're pushing Bayley. I think whatever plans they had with Bayley and Sasha are stopped now because Sasha's not coming to work. Maybe Sasha will show up and help Bayley win. I don't know, but I think like as far as booking Bayley and doing something with Bayley, I think her having the Money in the Bank.
Edgy Bayley.
Edgy Bayley would be great. Edgy Bayley would be great. Or like on Wrestle Talk, they keep talking about Sting Bayley, and every time I hear about it, I get excited.
Sting?
Yeah, Sting coming out and helping Bayley and dressing her up like a Sting version of Bayley.
I don't see that.
You don't see that? Okay, well. Maybe for those of us who are older, who remember the Sting.
Vince won't
moments.
do that with WCW. He won't bring a WCW character to his own.
Well, no, but Sting, the not like young blonde Sting,
Yeah, I know.
the other Sting, yeah,
True.
yeah. Although I like the blonde Sting better, but that's just, I think I'm in the minority for that. Okay, but that's it. Those are our predictions.
Yep.
And do you think there's going to be a cash-in the same night?
Drew McIntyre. And
You think Drew McIntyre is going to win it and cash it in the same night? Successful cash-in?
you know what? Yep. Brock Lesnar beats AJ and Rollins up. Maybe if they both get up, AJ turns heel after that, so it's a double whammy for Seth Rollins. And then Drew McIntyre comes in. He gives a Claymore.
It would make sense for AJ to then turn heel and then walk out of the ring, see Drew McIntyre go in and not care because he's a heel now. Right. But even if he's not a heel, like, he shouldn't care about the cash-in.
It's gonna,
Okay, so you think there's going to be cash-in?
It's gonna be Hell in a Cell last year, but with the cash-in.
So you think you're predicting a men's cash-in. I am predicting no cash-ins because that happened last year.
Yeah, with Lesnar's assist. Like, maybe because Lesnar is not the type of guy who'd let someone else get the pin after he does the dirty work. So maybe he beats up Lesnar first, and then he wins the title.
I don't think there's going to be a cash-in because there was a cash-in last year. And I don't like it when there's a cash-in the same night. I didn't like that last year. I think having a character with the Money in the Bank builds the character, builds storyline, keeps us guessing when we're doing the predictions for the rest of the shows, the rest of the pay-per-views. Like, is there going to be a cash-in? The cash-in teases are always fun. I quite enjoy those. So I think the idea of Money in the Bank is really good. It makes wrestling more interesting and a little bit more unpredictable. And so for them to just win the Money in the Bank and cash it in the same night is just a waste of so many possible storylines.
I'm going to also mention Money in the Bank should be the Kevin Owens match. Because Kevin Owens would be the best Money in the Bank holder, like, for the past few years.
Yeah.
Since Seth Rollins, he'd be the best one. Because what made Seth so great is he's the kind of guy who tries weaseling his way in, but always gets, like, beat up. And then at WrestleMania, he finally does it. Kevin Owens would be that guy.
Yeah, and Kevin Owens would be so good at teasing a cash-in.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so good at teasing. Pretending that he leaves the arena or he's not even in the arena, and then he shows up and he's in the arena. Like, he's just really good at doing that stuff. Oh, one more question that I just thought of right now. Do you think we're going to see another episode of The Funhouse? Or maybe...
Yes.
It's an episode, or do you think that he's going to show up? Do you think Bray Wyatt's going to show up?
I think there's going to be an episode, and then the episode's going to go to black, and he shows up.
And then what does he do? He's just there?
Oh, yeah. Something interesting. Sorry. But it relates to the story, kind of. On Twitter, he apologized to Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns for being mean.
It must have been the heel glove as opposed to the hurt glove.
I hope he has a cross personality.
Oh, he definitely.
Since you mentioned Reigns, what if, like, he helps him beat Elias, but then he beats up Reigns after the match?
So they tie it into him apologizing on Twitter. They maybe comment on him apologizing on Twitter, and then he comes in to help Reigns beat Elias, which is the heel glove, and then the hurt glove. Isn't it ironic that heel is like a heel in wrestling is bad, but it's the other heel? It's kind of ironic, but I don't know. Be interesting, because when he does finally debut, they got to make it a good debut. So, and then, but would his first feud then be with Reigns? Like, I don't want that.
Could be
I
it.
kind of don't want that,
Hmm.
right? So, and I don't want him feuding with Orton again.
If Sanity was relevant, I'd have him lead Sanity.
Yeah, Sanity's all broken up now.
So, who could he fight? Final talk of the day. Who can he fight?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, Randy Orton maybe.
And do you think he's going to be on Monday, or I know it doesn't matter wild card, but Monday or Tuesday? When do you think he's going to be on?
Tuesday.
You think he's going to be on SmackDown, huh? So who else?
Maybe Finn Balor. And then,
Maybe.
because Finn has an alter ego, so they could tie it in with the demon.
Yeah, didn't the demon already fought Bray, and then Bray was like, "Oh, you beat me because you the demon beat me without being the demon."
And then
Like, they already had a little thing.
so part of him could just be beat up Finn Balor, but the other part could be like, I released my demons. Why don't you release yours?
You know who I want it
Forget
to be?
about it.
I want it to be Aleister Black.
Mm.
They're the two guys that are cutting promos right now backstage and aren't in the wrestling ring right now. They're both a little dark, but one's like
That
black
one,
dark and one's white dark.
the issue
that make
with
sense?
that shouldn't happen right away because they're both like new characters, so they both can't lose really. So it's gotta be.
It would have to be like if there's a lot of matches. If there's like 8 matches, I mean that's too many. Well, it wasn't too many with Sheamus and Cesaro. If there's like 6 matches, right?
Mhm.
And then one of them wins, one of them wins, one of them wins, one of them wins, one of them wins. And then like in the end, like it doesn't really matter. It's only when there's one match that it's like, okay, this person has to win, right? So I don't think it would make either of them weak if they had a feud and there's wins and losses on both sides.
Yeah.
I don't think that the final count of the wins and losses would matter. Like that's an AEW thing, right?
Mhm.
Wins and losses. We don't even know how that's gonna work. But it's like in WWE, like the wins and losses don't really matter.
So.
Yeah, but I think that would be interesting.
But now, I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. Bray Wyatt versus Apollo Crews. For no reason.
Yeah, maybe. Or Xavier Woods, so go after
And
me.
he's gonna end up as the same character, not the one we want, just the generic, oh, look at me promo.
What I think they're gonna do is I think they're gonna bring Bray on Monday, and I think they're gonna have him fight jobbers for a few weeks just to show his dominance first before they put him in a feud.
And then he could be all like, heel, look at it, be
Yeah.
nice. Like Bo Dallas, actually. He was all nice, and then he beat them up.
I think that if they I think they need to have him like do jobber matches though. Then they can build up his gimmick. We can get used to his new in-ring style, whatever like special moves he's doing now, like with the gloves and the heel. You know, and we'll get used to it with some jobbers, and then he'll be very dominant, and then it wouldn't really matter who.
I just thought of something
Matt
amazing.
Hardy, maybe.
I just thought of something amazing.
Hmm.
Bo Dallas has a split personality. Real life brothers together.
A lot of people have been wanting them to get together eventually, but I don't think like I think Bo and Curtis like keep them together. I think like Bray, like right now Bray's like amazing, and I think that if they just kind of threw him in with someone right now, it would just kill all the momentum that he has.
Yeah, so he should be singles wrestler.
Yes, I think so. All right, well I think that's all we got for today.
Yeah. Okay. Enjoy Money in the Bank. Enjoy the show. And this has been Suplexus. And
Pile Driver. Maybe throw us some comments with your predictions down there.
yeah.
Or if you have some serious issues with some of ours.
Especially the Drew one. Yeah. Let us know who's gonna win. If you've already watched Money in the Bank when you watch this, then let us know what you thought. This has been Suplexus and
Pile Driver.